Hi, everybody. Thank you for staying with us. The next session would be Ms. Dipshika Dalchand, and she would be training you all on the AI tools that you all can integrate to and to accelerate ESG. She has been working with Gaviva for very long, and Gaviva is a widely used tool for ESG reporting, integration, and related areas. Dipshika, all yours. We all are looking forward to learning from you.
Thank you so much, Harsha. Excited to be here and to basically take you through a very interesting use case, for AI that I use myself, and I found it to provide immense value. Okay, so let me just share my screen to actually take you through a quick PPT first, and then we can go into action. Also, I'd like to keep this interactive. I will be asking you guys questions as well, and feel free to ask me questions at any point in time as well. Okay. Now, okay. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, fantastic. And what better use case for AI than to actually develop a presentation through AI as well, right? So um, just before we actually get into the workshopping bit, a couple of interesting things about AI is that if I would have, seen even a year ago or even 2 years ago, things such as analyzing reports, even doing, say, peer comparison, calculating, say, carbon footprints or energy consumption, wastewater, etc. All of these things would take a lot of time and manual effort. Now here, AI really, really helps reduce time on that. Now, for example, if you wanted to do, a peer comparison, across different countries, different sectors as well, AI basically can produce a first draft for you in minutes. Okay, so it's really accelerating and augmenting productivity of people in sustainability teams. Okay, and it is also redefining the role of people in ESG. Right? So what are some of the main areas that AI is mostly being used for, right? As we discussed in the last session, this it helps with taking unstructured data and structuring it, doing calculations from it, helping with tracking and monitoring. Can help you with benchmarking where you are compared to your peers. Can analyze reports. It can even draft reports as well. But also, it can help you determine what are the risks. There are some really interesting use cases around climate risks that are being developed using open source tools already out there, and the information out there to actually give you an overview of what climate risk would be relevant to your geography, for example. And every day on, I think, on LinkedIn, there's some or the other person who's like developed a quick calculator using AI, right? So these things are used. What we will be focusing on is actually using AI for actually getting sustainability intelligence to actually use in our organization. Now, since I'm from Gaviva, we have been incorporating AI quite a bit as well, and I'll also give you some interesting use cases. We're working across all of these 5 floors that I, just showed you. Now, when it comes to the potential, right? Now, BCG actually did a very interesting study, where they found two things out. First thing was that while companies were incorporating AI, and trying to get maximum use out of it, the thing was that you cannot, and as I said in the previous conversation as well, is that you need to actually determine what are your problem areas first, or where you want, AI to be incorporated, and then determine what kind of AI you can use for it, not the other way around, because then your adoption drops and it may not work, right? But now, what there are several different use cases for AI. Obviously, things, as I said, it can calculate, it can automate your calculations, data collection as well, across not only your organization, but also across your supply chain. Then you have very interesting use cases for generative AI as well. It can benchmark you, right? It can also explain, it can determine and explain reasons for anomalies. It can determine missing data as well, right? So it can do all of these interesting things. And then obviously you have agentic AI as well, wherein you can, have multiple agents assessing what are your peers doing, what are the major risks, whether it's climate, whether it's high level biodiversity risks, maybe it's risks across the social space as well, right? So several different potential use cases in in sustainability, and every day there's something new out there, right? And in fact, Anthropic had actually done a study wherein it determined that across different professions, right, uh, how much of the work actually can be done by AI, right? And in ESG and sustainability, it's quite high, though the adoption right now is low, but slowly the gap will get closed. Okay. And in Activiva, we do have some cool tools that you can use. We're already, doing a benchmarking of reports, so you can basically upload your report and you get a comparison against what the standards require, so it helps you with readiness. You can get a comparison with what your peers are doing, and also, as I said, unstructured data across an organization, AI is actively being used by us to try and help structure it, and then do use it further as well. Now, but if you see what other organizations are doing, so Google, is using AI in some very cool ways. It's using it to determine, what potential flood risks could actually be out there, and in fact, it can predict a flood 7 days in advance. It's also using it to optimize, the traffic signaling at areas which have busy, that are choke points as well. It's assessing what is the risk of wildfires, and it can also detect when there's a wildfire the size of a garage that has popped up. It can detect it and it can notify people, so it can take action. So very cool stuff that is being done, right? And there's a lot of potential. But when it comes to today's challenge, right, what we are going to actually do is something that hopefully all of you would be able to do along with me, right? So I've kept it fairly simple and hopefully useful for you. And also, we're going to use ChatGPT as a base, so hopefully all of you do have access to it, right? Now, in today's workshop, what we're going to work on designing is basically as a sustainability intelligence tool. Okay. Now, think of this scenario that you are the head of sustainability or an ESG manager, at an organization, right? And your CEO has asked you for, very suddenly that, okay, what are the latest developments that that he or she needs to be aware of, that could potentially impact the business. In fact, they may even go down further and ask you, okay, give me a quick update on what peers are doing, what customers are asking for. Give me like a one page or note, right? And here there's a lot of volume to go through, right? Because ESG developments, if you see there's something, if you are exporting globally, if you have units globally, there are many geographies that you may need to take care of and understand their reporting mandates. You will have to track across all of the frameworks. You'll have to track what are the latest updates your peers are doing, and chances are a lot of people are doing this manually. They're sourcing, they're going on LinkedIn, Google, etc., right? But imagine if you have a very quick tool that you can develop during this workshop, which basically helps you know when the changes are happening across the globe, in your sector, across relevant peers, across your clients, right? So that's what our intention is to do. Okay, and I know all of you may be familiar with ChatGPT, with Claude, etc., right? So the intent here, and what you need to understand is that the AI tools are only as good as the prompts that you create and give to them, right? So this exercise is going to kind of take you through what helps you develop a good prompt and a good tool at the end of it. Okay, so now, considering the scenario that I mentioned, right? So, say you are in a company, and I said you are the head of sustainability. Your CEO has asked you for quick updates. Okay. Now, let me just go to the um, Google Doc. So what I have done is that I have created a set of prompts, which I've put into this Google Doc. I'll share it with you so that if you want, you can go ahead and start putting in those prompts as well to determine the output. Okay. So let me just put the link. All right. I hope, let me know if you all are able to uh, view the document. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is that you can take these prompts and also you can mold it for your company and your sector. Okay. So what I've done over here is that I have gone through this exercise before and kept it ready. So just in case there were bandwidth problems, or sometimes the AI does take time, right? I don't want all of us to be spending like 2 minutes just waiting for the AI to give a response. All right. So let's go through this one by one. So CEO has asked me, the brief is clear. Okay. Now I put this first prompt, right, stating that, okay, listen, Mr. ChatGPT, can you please review the sustainability developments that are happening globally, and can you summarize them for me? Now it has gone ahead and done that. Okay. Now, could you tell me either via chat or by emoji that is this something that you would be sending to the CEO? Is this ready now or is it not? And if so, why? Okay, so I am not seeing any responses. Guys, so two questions. One, are you able to access the Google Doc? If so, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down, please. Okay, all right. Now, so yeah, perfect. Thank you. Now tell me that the first prompt that you may have put, into the into ChatGPT. Hopefully, you're doing this along with me. Is this something that you would use for and send directly to your CEO? So the prompt is just review the developments and summarize it for me. Yes, no, I don't know. Anything? Okay, all right. So let me answer that. No, it's not going to be good enough because my prompt is too broad. I have not given it any context, right? And that's very, very important. There may be ESG developments happening, but what is relevant to me and the CEO? That is going to be determined by which organization I am working for, where am I located, which sector am I in, maybe even names of peers, names of competitors, right? With AI, when you are giving a prompt, it is very important to actually give as much context as possible so that it can do a better job. Otherwise, the responses that it's giving are not really going to be usable. Yes, sure, it helps expand your knowledge on what JRI has done for, say, biodiversity transparency. But if it is not going to be relevant to your sector, then what is the use? Okay. So in this way, then we try and refine the prompt. Okay. So what was prompt number two? What was prompt number two? Now, I am assuming that I'm actually, say, I'm working for Tata Motors, right? Now I'm giving context to the AI that, hey, I'm from Tata Motors, I'm from the automotive sector, I am a listed company, okay? And I can go ahead and get more detailed and give their company names, or if I want it to actually find out what it thinks my peers are, I can go ahead and do that. All right. I've also told it go global as well, not only India specific, and only look at those developments that are relevant to the company, but also categorize them accordingly. Okay, so let's look at what it has done. Okay, now earlier, as you saw, you had developments across, say, land sector and removals, which are not relevant for my sector, which is automotive, right? There are things in Korea, in Bangladesh. Maybe I'm not even working in those, operating in those geographies. So relevance is less. Okay. But when I put the second prompt in, just this. When I put the second prompt in, which is actually giving context, now here's where things get interesting. Wherein I'm telling it that, okay, for the past 1 week, whatever updates have happened, actually then summarize it, categorize it across different stakeholder categories or priority categories as well, right? And give me why is it relevant to Tata Motors. Okay. Now, as you may all know, a very interesting thing that happened in the last couple of days is that um, there was a customer who had purchased a vehicle in India, and he alleged that because of the E20 fuel as well, it damaged his vehicle, and the court ordered the dealer and the manufacturer to actually give him money, or to compensate for the damage to his vehicle, right? So all of these things could be very relevant to Tata Motors, right? Because then it increases their liability. So this is now we are seeing relevance come to light, right? You also have interesting things that are happening across in the UK. There's a free trade agreement that has happened. Now there are implications for all of these. So now it is giving me information that is relevant to my business, okay, and it is also categorizing it in terms of priority as well, okay. It's also going in depth into each and every point, which is very good, because the one very critical thing that you always need to remember is that you cannot give an output that is only AI generated. You need to always have a human validated. Okay. So, for your understanding as well, it is giving you information which then you can further look into, and then you can also use your judgment to see whether the relevance that it gave was right. Okay. Now, let's move on to the third prompt. Now, it's given the information, right? Okay. But now I need to structure it. Okay. I want a one pager brief. Okay. Which is identifying what exactly is the main priorities I need to look at, which is the impact that it has on a business, what is the urgency of that particular priority item, as well as what are the sources that it is drawing the information from, and how confident it is with respect to what it has brought out, right? Now, can someone tell me that why is determining which source it has actually picked this information from? Why is it important? Anybody? Okay. Now, so the reason why these source is important is because oftentimes AI hallucinates. It literally can make up things as well. It can make up numbers. So, in order to avoid that, it is very important to always ask what is the source where the information is drawn from, and a link to that so that you can also check it out as well. Okay. Now, here we see some interesting things happening. While you did have the urgency of the different points as well, now you can see the different sources as well which have been brought out. Now, one of the things that it has actually mentioned as a source is industry analysis and regulatory guidance. Now, this is very vague. What analysis, what guidance has it actually, reference? This is not actually mentioned over here, right? So this is something that wherein the source is not actually credible. So this is one point where you may want to actually further question the AI as well. So it's very important that what goes out at the end of the day from your side is something that is actually traceable back to a source, so that if your CEO asks you hard questions, then you know exactly where to find more information from. So, this is a very important thing to do in order to actually determine what has actually been sourced, right, from proper, reliable, sites, right, and what exactly is vague, which you may not want to actually consider in your intelligence brief. Okay. So as you can see, it has given you where the sources as well. Okay, and it has also then rated what exactly are the risks because we asked it to. Okay, now one thing to know, to also understand is that when the AI is presenting you with information, it's usually also putting out some assumptions. Now, this is very important to know upfront before finalizing any document as well, right? So, one of the key workshop prompts that we have actually put in is for the AI to actually start critiquing its own briefing, right? And also to give us where it has taken assumptions and where it feels that human judgment may be required as well. Okay. Now, I remember a discussion once that I had with, on a particular topic. Like, I was using ChatGPT. I asked it about something. It gave me information. I told it it was wrong. It agreed with me. So these AI models often are built to be agreeable, rather than, so they can really change their opinion as well. So it's very important to understand what are the assumptions it has taken and then accordingly validate them as well. So here you can see that it has made certain assumptions. It has assumed that, okay, Tata Motors is actually working in the UK. That's why it's considered that as a priority for Tata Motors as well. And because it is most Tata is into EVs as well, right? So that's why it's considered EV battery regulations as well, right? But then it's also mentioned which are the areas that you may want to verify further as well. This is not an exhaustive list. That list you will only develop when you yourself are looking at the sources and then doing your own checks and balances. Okay, so it is actually shown you which are the areas where you may want to look at and some things which it has not been able to actually prioritize, but it could potentially, but it needs a human level of review and further information as well. Okay, now the last thing is that once you have actually done your human layer of validation, now you need this one pager, but also you can build a dashboard as well right within ChatGPT. So the next prompt that I would encourage you to use is to actually build a dashboard, right? And I've given you what are the information points that would be relevant. So you want to highlight urgency, right? The best way to do it is by traffic light indicators. You want to actually also then highlight which are the top ones to actually prioritize, right? You want it to be visually appealing as well. McKinsey, Bain, and all, they tend to make very visual, appealing dashboards, which appeal to CEOs, right? So you can simply use this prompt, and once you put it in, then what ChatGPT or Claude or whichever model you use actually generates a dashboard, right? Which then can be used. Now, the dashboard that actually came out, minute over here, yeah, let me open it right within ChatGPT. Okay, so since it's taking time, I have managed to download it. So this is the overall dashboard that it ended up giving me. Okay. Now here you can see it's categorized, the priorities based on the category of, say, the stakeholders as well, that it is relevant for, what is the urgency as well, right? What is the confidence that it has, okay, as well as the source that it has used in its, in drawing out that this is a priority for Tata Motors. It's also given information on what is the potential business impact and also mention which are the points that you may want to validate as well before you send it to your CEO. Now this is perfect because it already gives you the structure, right? And in fact, an enriched structure, which you can then just make some tweaks to, and then you can, and once you've done the validation, you can then go ahead and you can send it to your CEO. All right. Now, but here's the thing that you don't need to do this every week or every month. What if I told you that you could actually schedule it? Not you can do it in Claude, but even in models such as ChatGPT, what I can do is I can actually schedule this task to actually be run at a date and time. So I've told it that every Monday, okay, 8 a.m. India time, I want you to give me to create this dashboard and the one pager. So now every Monday at 8 a.m., what I will receive is the one pager as well as the intelligence dashboard that you just saw. You can make any changes that you want, but basically, what this has helped create is a sustainability intelligence analyzer that is relevant to your business that you are working in, right? And also one where you can then go ahead and check what the sources are and then validate it before actually sending the information to your CEO. Okay. Now, I hope you guys are using the prompts, right? So let me just go back to my presentation. Okay. Now, what has it done? What has it gone ahead and done? It has actually reduced the noise for me, right? Now, there are so many updates that are there, not only in the world of ESG, but here you're looking at it from a business perspective. So, things such as the India UK Free Trade Agreement are relevant for the business, right? So, there are several different updates, which, if you are manually looking for, you would be combing multiple sources. Here, it's taken those multiple sources and categorized them in one place. It's also established the relevance and the priority, and overall it's given you the brief, right? And one more thing is that this is a very repeatable process. Okay, now while you give your prompt, at every point in time you should be adding as much context as you can and also challenging the result. Okay, like I said, if I tell ChatGPT I don't agree with you, it will go ahead and agree that what it provided was wrong. So you really need to be careful there, right? Always keep giving context, keep challenging and refining so that your results are better. Okay, you can schedule the tasks and then you can get the brief at a frequency that you want. Okay, but at every step in time, you need to ask these important questions. First and foremost, what is the source from where the data is being derived, right? Especially when you are using AI for things such as maybe peer benchmarking. A lot of times it can hallucinate like peer data. Okay. And then when you ask it, where did you get it from? It'll say, I wasn't able to actually trace that back to to an exact source, and then it'll change its answer. So every point in time, you need to ask questions about the source and be very clear that it is a credible source. Okay. Also, context matters. Is this applicable for my business? Because generic things may not really be suitable for me. And then at the end of the day, before you send anything out, to anybody else in your organization, you need to validate it and bring in your own judgment, right, before you send it out. Because at the end of the day, the AI is not responsible for the decision, you are, right? So you need to be accountable for your decision as well. Okay. So one last thing, my intent was to keep it quick, and hopefully I have done that. One last thing is that for people who are in this domain, right? Um, it's about using AI to actually augment your productivity. Okay, it really is a fantastic thing to actually categorize multiple things that are there out there in on the internet and bring them all in one place. And while this sustainability intelligence tool is just one of the tools that can be created, within the span of like 10 minutes, right? You can do multiple things. You can, as I said, you can look at benchmarking reports. You can look at developing, say, trackers, calculators. And also optimization as well can be done. Several tools that are there. AI is not here to replace you. It is here to increase the capacity of the work that you can do. Okay, so I think I'm just going to stop sharing my screen to see if there are any questions um, in the chat. Yeah.
Deepshika, would you like to share one case study that wherein we've used Kaviva and it has helped us to save time and increase productivity?
Oh, absolutely. So, in fact, I can share a couple of them. One thing that we did bring in, several months ago was actually using AI for, unstructured data. Now, uh, as you know, in India, every electricity bill looks different. It looks really complex. Or even the way that people are currently collecting data, right, which tends to be massive Excel sheets, right? Everyone in a different format, even in multiple locations of the same organization, you can have the formats look different, right? So what this used to entail earlier was that you would have people that would be put on the job to try and clean that data up first, right? And then put it on, say, on the platform. And for you could say 1 year of data, right, that has been provided on Excel by an organization, that would take at least 4 to 5 working days to clean it up and then put it all in a structured format. But what we have done is that now we've introduced something, we call it Kaviva AI. And now, no matter how messy the sheet is, no matter which state the bill is from, whether it's an image, it can be uploaded. And within a matter of 2 minutes, the AI is able to categorize it, is able to then put it in on the platform, and is also able to state the confidence level that it has in the data. Okay, so literally, 4 to 5 days of less than 2 minutes. So it's really been a time saving feature over there. The other thing, what we are actively using it for is, is analyzing what is the readiness of companies for new reporting requirements. So you can analyze it against any framework. You want to do it against PRSR, EcoVadis, IFRS S1, S2. All that can is also something that we are actively doing.
Thank you. Any other questions? Dipshika, also this document, if possible, do you think we can share it?
Yes, in fact, what I will also do is there is a blueprint document as well, wherein the steps that you should always take care of while developing your prompts using the intelligence analyzer example. I will share that with you so that this also can be floated to the audience.
Thank you, Dipshika. I know you've taken a lot of pain to develop this entire content and sharing it with all of us. Really appreciate it. I hope we can invite you in the next round of AI and sustainability, wherein you can share more about the work that you've done and we can implement it as well. Really appreciate all the work you've done for this session. Any final thoughts or words?
Um, I think proactively start using AI in your daily work. It will really reduce the amount of time that you would usually spend. But at the same time, always validate, validate, validate.
Thank you. Thank you. On this note, always validate. We all would like to thank you, Dipshika, and join us for the next fireside chat with with Mr. Setu Shah, Director AI in Oracle. Thank you. Thank you, Dipshika.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.